Pag-usapan natin ngayon mga buddy, itong 1911 Taal Volcano Eruption. Isa sa napakagandang pag-usapan mga buddy, itong eruption na to. Kasi marami tayong makukuhang impormasyon na available na sa internet. At dito sa vlog na to, ipapakita ko sa iyo yung mga ilang photos na kung saan ay makikita yung bulkan habang nagkakaroon ng eruption at yung mga naging pagbabago. Kung ano yung nakikita natin ngayon after 1911 eruption nangyari. Ikwento ko muna sa inyo base dito sa ating nakikita sa Wikipedia yung eruption. Okay? Para at least mga buddy ay nakasabay kayo sa akin habang ating tinutuklas, habang ating binabasa itong eruption na ito. Okay, so ito na, 1911 eruption. One of the more devastating eruptions of Taal took place in January 1911. During the night of the 27th of that month, so January 27, the seismographs at the Manila Observatory commenced to register frequent disturbances which were at first of insignificant importance but increased rapidly in frequency and intensity. So the total recorded shocks on that day numbered 26. During the 28th, kinabukasan, there were recorded 217 distinct shocks, of which 135 were microseismic and 10 quite severe. Ganun kadami ang mga naitalang paglindol. The frequent and increasingly strong earthquakes caused much alarm in Manila, but the observatory staff was soon able to locate their epicenter in the region of Taal volcano and assured the public that Manila was in no danger. Akalain nyo yun. Akala nila sa Manila. Pero, nandun pala sa Taal ang pinanggagalingan. As Taal was some 60 kilometers away, too far to directly damage the city. In Manila, in the early hours of January 30, people were awakened by what they at first perceived as loud thunder. The illusion was heightened when lightning illuminated the southern skies. A huge fan-shaped cloud of what looked like black smoke ascended to great heights, crisscrossed with a brilliant display of volcanic lightning. This cloud finally shot up in the air, spread, then dissipated, marking the culmination of the eruption at about 2:30 a.m. Walang pinipiling oras ang eruption. Pwedeng umaga, tanghali, hapon, gabi, madaling araw. Ito, 2:30 a.m. So, on Volcano Island, the destruction was complete. It seems that when the black fan-shaped cloud spread, it created a blast downward that forced hot steam and gases down the slopes of the crater. Ito, it created a blast downward, no, pababa, that forced hot steam and gases down the slopes of the crater, accompanied by a shower of hot mud and sand. Yan ang sinasabi na pyroclastic density currents. PDC. Kagaya nung nangyari sa Mount Canlaon kahapon na kung saan nakitaan ng PDC. This shower was the main cause of the loss of life. Yun na. Kaya ganun ka-delikado. Kaya nga, yung post natin sa Taal Volcano News Update about Canlaon, about doon sa base surge or doon sa PDC, kasi nangyari na kay Taal Volcano at ito nga noong 1911 ang isa na kung saan ay nagkaroon ng PDC. Ayan, no? This shower was the main cause of the loss of life and destruction of property around the volcano. Ipinaliwanag na ng PHIVOLCS kahapon dun sa press briefing ng Canlaon eruption ang tungkol dito sa PDC kung gaano kainit ito. The fact that practically all the vegetation was bent downward away from the crater suggested that there must have been a very strong blast down the outside slopes of the cone. Yun. Very little vegetation was actually burned or even scorched. 6 hours after the explosion, dust from the crater was noticeable in Manila as it settled on furniture and other polished surfaces. The solid matter ejected had a volume of between 70 and 80 million cubic meters as fell over an area of 2,000 square kilometers, although the area in which actual destruction took place measured only 230 square kilometers. The detonation from the explosion was heard over an area more than 1,000 kilometers in diameter. Ang death toll, ayon dito mga buddy, sa nakasulat ay reported 1,100 lives and injured 199. It is assumed that more perished than the official records show. So, isa ibang website na nakita ko, ibang article ay 1,500. 7 barangays existed on the island previous to the eruption were completely wiped out. Post-mortem examination of the victims seems to show that practically all had died of scalding by hot steam, nabuhusan or natapunan by hot steam or hot mud. Imagine nyo kung ganun klase ang eruption ang ipakita ni Taal Volcano. Ginawa na niya noon, posibleng mangyari uli ngayon. Kaya patuloy tayo sa pagbibigay at pagpapaintindi na huwag nating maliitin si Taal Volcano, mga buddy. Ilang villages ang nasira? 702 cattle, o mga alagang baka o kalabaw ang namatay. 543 nipa houses destroyed. Crops suffered from the deposit of ashes that fell to a depth of almost half an inch in places near the shore of the lake. Aftermath, ito, anong nangyari doon sa Taal Volcano Island? Volcano Island sank between 1 and 3 meters as a result of the eruption. Lumubog ang Volcano Island. It was also found that the southern shore of Lake Taal sank because of the eruption. Southern shore, parteng Alitagtag, Cuenca. Yan. No evidences of lava could be discovered anywhere. Nor have geologists been able to trace any visible records of a lava flow having occurred at any time on the volcano during the eruption. Yung talagang main culprit, mga buddy, ay yung PDC. Another peculiarity of the geologic aspects of Taal is that the fact that no sulfur has been found on the volcano. The yellow deposits and incrustations noticeable in the crater in its vicinity are iron salts according to chemical analysis. So, mahaba-haba pa ito, mga buddy. Great changes took place in the crater after the eruption. Ito, may papakita tayo, mga buddy, mamaya. Before 1911, the crater floor was higher than Taal Lake. Oh. So, ngayon, halos pantay siya, di ba? Pero, before 1911, mas mataas pa pala siya. At, teka, may papakita tayo mga picture, mga buddy, kung ito nga. Ito, titingnan natin, ha. Ito ata eh. Ito. Ayan. Ito. May ano pa siya, wala pa siyang tubig. Mga buddy, no? Ito. Sa Flickr. Wala pa siyang tubig. Hindi ko lang alam kung before 1911 to, ha. Pero nakalagay kasi dito. Ayun, after. The January 30, 1911. So, ito na nag-itsura. Then, ano sunod? The crater floor was higher than the Taal Lake and had several separate openings in which there were lakes of different colors. There was a green lake, yellow lake, and a red lake, and some holes filled with hot water from which steam is issued. Before 1911, mga buddy, ganun ang description noong Taal main crater, no? Meron daw green lake. Ito, may mga separate openings. There were lakes of different colors. There was a green lake, yellow lake, red lake, and some holes filled with hot water from which steam issued. Many places were covered with a shaky crust of volcanic material full of crevices, which was almost hot and on which it was rather dangerous to walk. Immediately, ito na, after the explosion, the various colored lakes had disappeared and in their place was one large lake. Yun na, nangyari. Nagkaroon na naging ganito na yung lake. About 10 feet below the level of the lake surrounding the island. The crater lake gradually rose to the level of the water in Taal Lake. Yun. So, ano sumunod sa 1911? Ito na atang 1965. Ayan, 1965 yung major eruption ulit to 1977. Okay, so tapos na tayo sa 1911 mga buddy. Ito another website, another article from the Kahimyang Project. Today in Filipino history, January 30, 1911, Taal volcano erupted, killing approximately 1,500 people. From naman to, Coconuts, Manila, Taal volcano's catastrophic 1911 eruption reminds us of its fearsome photos. Ayan na, pakita natin. So ito ay from photo archivist John Tewell, whose online collection includes over 10,000 photos. At ito nga yung ilan sa mga kuha niya sa 1911 eruption. Ayan. So, kita nyo dito mga buddy, medyo maliit pa yung crater lake. Tapos, yung Vulcan Point, ito, nakalabas pa siya. No, malaki pa yung nakaangat sa kanya. Tapos, may konting landmass dito sa gilid niya. Pero, ngayon, ito yung Vulcan Point. Ito, tingnan natin sa Google. Ayan, ito sa Google Earth. Ako sumabit Ayan. So, ito na siya ngayon mga buddy. Ayan. Yun ang Vulcan Point. Yun na lang nakalabas. Tumaas yung tubig. Samantalang dito, mas mataas pa yung Vulcan Point. Then, ito yung mga kuha sa saan to? Sa anong simbahan kaya to? Baka may makaka-recognize sa inyo ng simbahan na to. Nagkaroon ng fissuring. Ayan. Then, ito pa. Taal Village ang nakalagay dito. May mga bahay dati, mga body, Ito naman sa mismong pulo. Ayan, may mga kababayan tayo na sinabing palad. Ito yung eruption. January 30, 1911 by John Tewell. Ito pa yung isa. Ayan. Bakit paulit-ulit nating tinatalakay ang Taal Volcano at saka yung kanyang mga eruption? Ito ay para hindi natin makalimutan. Ito ay para sa ating mga taga-subaybay na may mapapanood sa atin na nangyari sa kasaysayan. Kasi kung ang isang tao ay hindi na mahilig mag-research sa panahon ngayon o kahit sa eskwelahan na papahapyawan lamang ang tungkol sa mga eruption ni Taal, hindi ganun kadetalyado. Pero dahil nga sa tulong ng internet, nakikita natin kung ano yung mga nangyari, may mga article tayong nababasa, may mga litrato tayong nakikita, nababalikan natin. Ito ay para maging aware tayo na itong ating bulkan ay hindi basta-basta lamang na bulkan. Isa siyang decade volcano, isa sa pinakadelikado, mapanganib na bulkan sa buong mundo. Small but terrible, ika nga mga buddy. Almost 47 craters. Sa estado niya ngayon, hindi natin masasabi kung kailan siya puputok. Pero alam natin na dadating ang panahon na magkakaroon ulit siya ng isang malakas na eruption. Kung hindi man ngayon sa panahon na to, maaaring sa susunod na mga henerasyon. Kaya patuloy natin tong ginagawa para paalala sa mga tao na huwag nating maliitin ang kakayahan ng bulkang Taal.